I'm sorry, I was too parched to do the entire intro first, y'all. It is hot as AF over here. And these lights ain't helping either. For some weird reason, the exposure is up way too high. It's making me look yellow as opposed to my caramel skin. What's going on? Let me just bring this down a little bit. Nope, that's too dark. Now all y'all will see is a tarmac. Anyways. All right. What's going on, people? What's up, y'all? Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? What's happening, y'all? Alrighty. Let me just go ahead and drag this chat out right quick. Bring that bad boy from over here. And then move that bad boy over here. There we go. Okay. All right. So, oh, something in my beard? What was that? Is that a water droplet? I guess so. But appreciate that, though. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, people? All right, so starting at the top, we've got Retro Lad. Hello, I was first. I feel special. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy that you are first, because everyone should feel, at least for one moment in life, like being first accomplishes something. Unless you came first, then that might be an issue. Anyways, we got Hibachi in the chat. We got the homie J-Fam. What's up? We got the homie Flame. Think about it. Neo doesn't show up for weeks because of uncertainty with ABK. Then the day it's confirmed is finally happening, he returns. Xbox Illuminati confirmed. Well, you know what, Flame? You know what, bro? For once in your life, you might be onto something. You might be connecting the dots with those crayons you still be using. Shout out to Flame. Shout out to the homie Flame. All right, who else is in here? We got Pooh Bear in the chat. We got Shawn Wilcowski. What's going on, man? Where's Mike Wazowski? Oh, we got DIMWITMONKEY. What's up? Just a reminder to everybody, Mrs. Incredible is thick. Not only with 2 C's, but he threw an X up in there. And honestly, yeah, man. Mrs. Incredible, like, listen, I had crushes on fictional characters when I was a kid. Like, you know, obviously like Tifa, Chun-Li, those were my first crushes. But Mrs. Incredible was the first one where I looked at that and I was just like, damn, that is a woman who's got a whole lot of... All right, let me stop because this is a Christian YouTube stream and we do not talk about those things. Anyways, we got David Biglod in the chat. What's up, David? We got DWTV07. Hello, everyone. I've returned. While everyone is running and getting PlayStation Xboxes, I'm over here like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, and got me a Wii with classic games like Poke Park 1 and 2, I Spy, etc. You know what? If you like it, I love it, man. I mean, it's cool. Like, bro, I've high-key been considering buying another 360 and PS3 because my PS3, I tried working on that thing. That was not wanting to work. And then my 360, I just don't know where exactly it is. It's somewhere in the attic in storage, but part of me just wants to go ahead and buy new-ish versions of those, even if it's the slim model for the PS3 or, you know, the 360 when they came out with the new slim model, the one that had the built-in Wi-Fi and everything. That shit was sexy, bro. But yeah, I've been high-key considering doing that just because there's a lot of games that aren't backwards compatible. You know, speaking of which, Naruto The Broken Bond. And part of me just wants to go back. You know, it's like the games that aren't on PC from that era. I've just been hankering to play them. But yeah, you know, like that's just been in the back of my mind. But what always stops me is that there's just way too much stuff to play now. That if I were to go out there and spend that money on older stuff, it's like, Neo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who else is in here? We got Long Live Kevin Samuels. Yes, sir. Talk about the Flash bombing and the new Superman Legacy castings in the Ahsoka trailer, please. Yes, guys, there's a lot to talk about, so keep me accountable as far as like everything. Like once we get past the intro, we're just gonna go boom topic after topic after topic after topic because there is so much shit that we missed in the last couple of weeks. We got JMac19. What's up, my brother? We got Julian Phoenix, Kory Gryffindor. Gentlemen, what's going on? Get your lotion. He's about to go live. You know what, Flame? I appreciate that. I hope you got some good lotion. Hope it's very much so hydrating to your skin. I hope that, my guy. Let's see who else is in here. We got the Sensu Beam plug. Neo let me down late again. Yeah, man. I know I said 8 o'clock, but then I had to push that back to 8:30 because I wanted to make sure when I come on here and it's live, make sure there's no complications, no issues whatsoever. So, you know, that extra 30 minutes, it helped out your boy. We got PierretheGamer in the chat. What's up, my brother? We got KiddStupefy and Zubin Jacob. Good time to go live. Microsoft got a rare W today. Yup. And we got that Activision ABK thing going on. Activision ABK? It's Activision Blizzard King. We got that whole thing happening. Hopefully this will be the last time we need to speak about it. We'll see, though. We got NKDN. What's up, my brother? We got Video Game Lover. We got Bryce Hag. So excited for the stream. Oh, thank you, my guy. It's good to see everybody in here. Y'all are in rare form tonight. No bullying yet, which is great. We got Exploit in the chat. It's been a few weeks. Yes, it has been 3 long weeks, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 2 weeks without Ask Neo. That's crazy to think about. Because you know how it is. We get the nice consistency going, and then it's like, boom. But, you know, there were a couple of reasons why. The 1 week before, well, 2 weeks ago, I couldn't do Ask Neo just because I really wasn't feeling it. I wasn't in a good headspace. I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. So literally, I was pushing myself through that entire day. And I was like, no, I can't stream tonight, bro. So I didn't stream. And then the rest of the week was so busy. And then the following week was 4th of July. So, you know, stuff happens. But we back at it like a crack addict, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can see me and I know you can hear me. We got Cold in the chat. What's up, Cold? We got Sibir, a whole stream dedicated to whether Jez survives the challenge. Nice. Oh yeah, we calling the homie Jez out with this one. I will make sure that I will sick y'all on Jez when I raise the gauntlet for that challenge. We got the homie Rhino in the chat. You're from Disney Springs. Oh, this man is doing it big. That man is doing it big right now. He over there at the Disney parks. Love it. Love to see it. That man had to mortgage his house for a 3rd time to afford Disney, because, you know, that's the thing people don't tell you about Disney, is that Disney is so fucking expensive. You think to yourself, yeah, you know, I'm gonna plan this Florida trip, I'm gonna go there, and then you go to Disney, and this shit is like, it's like paying concert ticket prices, and then some, for 1 day at the park. Fucking asinine, bro. As much as I would love to go to Disney World again, as an adult, I'm just like, I could do so much more with this $1,000. Oh, we got a $4.99 coming in from the homie Jay. Can't stay, but have a good show, brother. I don't like the ABK stuff. So much could go right, but also wrong. Big consolidations are oof. Floodgates are open. Yup, there's definitely a lot of good and bad that can come with this whole thing, which we are going to talk about. But Jay, appreciate the super chat, my brother, and hopefully I can catch you on the playback, watching it back, because we have a lot of stuff to discuss. Let's see. I thought Disney was cheap. No, the cheapest thing about Disney is that Disney Plus subscription. That's the cheapest thing. Going to Disney itself? Holy, bro. Holy. You gotta plan that shit out. Let's see. Can we get some love for that like button? Yes, I appreciate that, Bryce. Thank you so much. If you guys are enjoying the stream, hit that like button. Helps out the channel tremendously. And hopefully I'll do that before the penguin comes in. Because like I said, listen, me, I'm all hunky-dory. I'm happy. I'm cool. I'm chill. But when Daniel Pack pulls up, who else is in here? We have got, we got Julian Harris. What's up, my brother? We got Black Light in 100. Neo, are you the one? Bitch, I might be. We got TV. Oh, that's Chris. What's going on, Chris? Let's see. We got Wee Man on Wheels. What's up, my guy? Oh, you're going on vacation tomorrow? Nice. Where are you going, bro? Where are you going, my guy? Oh, we got Bella. What's up, Bella? Hey, I'm happy. Finished a new fashion design and it turned out really well. Bella, you designing clothes now? So not only does this girl bake, not only does this girl play video games, not only is this girl fence, not only is this girl a gymnast, but now she's a fashion designer. Bella, you about to be president tomorrow at this rate. And like I said, just give me a seat of power and we cool. Oh man, that's my niece right there. Bella on point, bro. Bella's gonna go places. We got Reed 94. What's up? Ahsoka hype. Honestly, that's kind of my last hope. I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, that's kind of how I am with a lot of shit that Disney Star Wars has been. It's like Andor was great, but is this gonna be as good as Andor? If not, I sleep, bro. We got Red Sage in the chat. What's up, Red Sage? We got Devilish Genius. I like that name, man. I love that name, brother. It's good to see you. We got James Lewis. Let's see. We got Paris in the chat. We got KH Han. We got Masked On or Off. Dude, I Got Food is in here. We got Big Nate. And we got Doovy. All right, cool. Excellent. We have done all the shout outs. If I missed anybody from beforehand. Okay, we got MC Don. What's up, MC Don? How you doing? All right, so that is everybody. We're going to do the intro. Was that English? I was just like, that's what happens when you don't do Ask Neo for a few weeks. We're going to do the intro. And I don't know if I shouted out Valkyne24. If not, Maddie, hello for the second time today. But what's going on, people? Welcome to another fantabulous and fabulous and fantastic episode of Ask Neo. That was way too many F words to say at the same time. That wasn't an F-bomb. If y'all are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Neo, and this is Ask Neo. Ask Neo is our weekly Q&A stream where we just chill, we hang out, you guys ask me questions, and I answer them to the best of my ability. Now, before we get deeper into the show, because we have got a lot of stuff to discuss in a short amount of time, I want to draw y'all's attention down below to the video description because we got a couple of links of interest. What's up, John the Don? How you doing, my brother? Down below in the video description, you guys can find all my social media outlets from Instagram to Twitter, and I guess I should make a Threads account because that's the new cool hip thing that all the youngsters are on these days. For those that don't know, Threads is Facebook's alternative to Twitter. I've seen a lot of people joining that, but the thing about me, man, when it comes to these social media apps is like, unless they're in really good working places, I'm not just going to sign up for one for the sake of and have that shit be buns, man. I can't do that shit. That shit has got to be at least competently working, and I got to see all my peoples on it. But if I see someone who just makes an account on there and we're not really posting on it, I ain't gonna make a new one, you know? So as bad as Twitter has been recently, I'm gonna rock with it until the wheels fall off, until it becomes just non-usable whatsoever. So down below are all my social media outlets, in addition to our Discord community, our Patreon page, and YouTube memberships. Now, considering it is the first stream of the month, even though it is the 11th day of the month, I do want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to all the people who have been subscribing to the YouTube memberships page. We've got a lot of subscribers recently, which is really awesome to think about. And for those who don't know, YouTube memberships are just a great way to support the channel. I don't really gatekeep content on there as far as like videos are concerned, considering I barely make videos in the first place. So how am I going to look gatekeeping that sort of stuff? But it is a really good way to support the channel. In addition to that, you can have what Flame just did. You can have your messages answered with priority. Jason JFam over here has been designing us a lot of member badges and emotes, so we've been having a lot of fun with that. And like I said, it's just a cool way to support your boy Neo. So considering it is the first of the month, I do want to shout out all the homies who have been subscribed to that. So starting at the top, we've got the homie Steve Killer 952. We got GC Plugs. We got Juan Castillo, Shawn Wilcowski, Brosie Brosum, Kory, Julian Phoenix, Don the Otaku. I'm surprised his bitch ass ain't here. Don the Otaku, KiddStupefy, JMac19, Jake, B-Rex's Meme Corner, Julian Phoenix, Dominique Richardson, Acebreaker, PierretheGamer, 2003 Honda Civic, DIMWITMONKEY, Marcus Doyle Terrell for real, Joe, DC Gaming, TXK, JFam388, Jazzy Jefferson, Slixro, Clifford Pena, Zack Rodriguez, and Colin, my boy. Wherever you're at, Colin, my boy, I love you so much, man. Hope you're doing well, fam. And thank you guys so much for all the people who supported the memberships. Thank you guys so much for just coming through the stream, hitting the like button, all that good stuff, you guys. You know, it's been a couple of weeks, so I hope everybody's doing well, whatever y'all are doing. Some people are on break from school. Some people are on vacation. Some people just chilling, just doing the day-to-day grind. Your boy Neo's been aight, most things considered. You know, just out here working, out here grinding, doing all that stuff. I like to keep you guys in the loop as far as like health stuff is concerned. I finally, for the first time in a very long time, I made an appointment with my doctor because I hadn't gotten any type of blood work done. I hadn't gotten any type of like physical done since pre-COVID. Like that was the last time I really went to the doctor like that. But one thing I've really tried to get a hold of, especially now that I'm in my late 20s, I'm about to be 30 in a few days, is I want to make sure that, you know, I have a good understanding of where my health is at. Because it's one thing to say, oh, I feel good, you know, I look good, I work out, I do all those things, but is everything inside functioning as it should be? And, you know, it's just one of those things where the older you get, you start looking at other members in your family, some friends, you know, just like health complications, all that stuff. Like whatever I can do to mitigate some of that stuff happening, I will do that. So went to the doctor, got blood work done, and to my surprise, everything came out perfect. Better than expected, actually, because I don't know why I was thinking like, yeah, man, it's probably gonna be something wrong with this and something wrong with that. Because, you know, whenever you guys ever get into the situation where you start feeling weird and you start Googling what this could be a sign of, and then you look at what you find, and it could be any variety of medical conditions, one of them being death. So I looked up something, I was just like, damn, why do I feel some type of like pain over here? And it's just like, oh, you might be dying. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I would love to hear that in my life. But you know, yeah, it was just one of the things that I forgot that, oh, you know, I was doing a lot of paused benches and the bar was resting right on my lower chest. And that's why it was kind of irritated for a few days. It wasn't any organ issue whatsoever. So I got blood work done. Everything came back perfect. Got my physical done. Got my testosterone checked. Got all those things, all those markers. Everything is great. And I implore you guys, if you haven't gone to the doctor in X amount of time, definitely do that. Make it a habit going forward for your yearly checkup, your yearly physical. Get a lot of comprehensive blood work done. Get your thyroid checked. Get your hormones checked. Get all that stuff done, because if you feel like there is something going wrong in your body, the more data you have available, you can use that information to kind of better yourself going forward and know exactly what you need to do, the steps and the changes, you know, whether it's your diet or whether it's stress levels or all that stuff. So I went ahead and I got all that information and I'm happy about that. In addition to that, you know, I'm just going to the dentist next week to go for my cleaning and all that shit, you know, just take care of all those little things. But shout out to the people who've been joining in between. We got the homie Fun Speculation Mav in the chat, taking a break from his 14 podcasts that he does on a weekly basis that I be watching. You know, I don't comment on all of them, but I be lurking, whether I'm driving, I'm listening, and I'm like, oh, that's my boy Mav. Shout out to Mav, man. If you guys have not subscribed to Fun Speculation, go ahead and check that channel out. Him, Pong Soul, Caitlin, 3-Bit, all those guys. Amazing individuals. Love them to death. Let's see. And I have to go back because I did miss out on Flame's super chat. He's been a member for the Fandom Weirdos for the past 18 months. Thank you so much, Flame. I appreciate you, my brother. Hello there, Neo of the Game Sparks. Well, actually, sir, it's Neo of House Spark. Get it right. Did you watch that thing I recommended you? You know, that Oshinoko? Well, you just told me what it was. There's no suspense whatsoever, Flame. What are you doing? You left me on red, so I'm gonna need some thoughts. Well, you do need some thoughts in your life, man. I don't know about them Florida thoughts. You might get a STD. You know, that's how it is. Like up here, there's a general rule: you don't mess with girls from the Bronx. You just don't do that. So just like you don't mess with girls from Florida. Anyways, yes, I did watch Oshinoko, and thank you for reminding me of that, because there was something in the back of my mind. I'm like, I need to do something. What is it? And it's like, boom, I need to share my thoughts on that. So Flame, don't worry. After the stream, I'm going to eat and I'm going to record a whole ass long voice message for you, because your boy has got some thoughts after that first episode. I was surprised. That's all I can say. But shout out to you, Flame. I appreciate that, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Mexican Zoidberg. He's in the chat right now. Shout out to Omerta War. Facts of my thyroid was trash and I had no idea. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that you never know until you get blood work done. And, you know, talking about this stuff with your doctor, especially for the stuff that's really, really intricate, you might have to go to a specialist to see, because, you know, primary care physicians, they'll only have like a basic understanding. But when it comes to like other things like that, if they can refer you to someone who has more of a general experienced understanding, that stuff is good. Because, man, like I said, like thyroids, hormones, shit like that, they play a role. They definitely do. Retro Lad, did you guys finally watch When the Promised Flower Blooms? No, we did not get a chance to. Yeah, my girlfriend and I, we've just been so busy that we haven't had a chance to just sit down. Like the last thing that we sat down and we watched was Superman and Lois. Not Superman and Lois, but there's so many Superman shows. It's awesome. Good time. My Adventures of Superman. We just watched that and absolutely fucking loved it, man. I can't wait for the next episode. But that is on our list. Rest assured. What's up, Zora Striker? How you doing? And Darkstar Archangel in the chat. What's up? Darkstar says, what do you think of Skullgirls' censorship update? It's like buying a movie on Steam, but years later they patch it to censor the explicit scenes and dialogue. So I am unaware of this. Can you catch me up to speed? Did they just censor like risque content in the game? What was it? Julian Phoenix, who's been a member of the Fandom Weirdos for the past month. Hey, did you hear the rumor that WB might sell some DC assets? Also, what are your thoughts on the Deadpool leaks? WB selling some DC assets, is that something new that just broke recently? Because the last thing I heard about WB was that they were selling off some of the music rights for things like Purple Rain, things like the classic Batman movies. That's the last thing I heard. But if we're talking on full-on DC assets, like are we talking like the full-on rights to some of those movies, like rights in perpetuity, like everything? That would be crazy. I think the last thing WB needs to do is sell off DC to somebody else. I don't think they need to do that, because DC, if they can get this shit right, DC is their savior. DC is their moneymaker. obviously the content and the quality has to be good. But if they can get all this shit right and let James Gunn cook, and hopefully it's a good meal, they have enough properties there to sustain them for a decade plus, which is what they need right now. They need IP. And I'm not saying that that means that they have to focus solely on that, but it is a big thing that you already have people who are interested in that. It's like there's going to be more people who are going to show up for a Superman movie, a good Superman movie, than a random new project. So my hope is that with all the money that they're getting from the DC stuff, if it pays off, that they can use that to funnel it towards all the other stuff. Like WB was the home for a lot of like great directors, people like Christopher Nolan, and they were willing to take a chance. And the fact that like Christopher Nolan, this man, they gave him hundreds of millions of dollars for every single one of his projects, and they're all original new stuff. Like that stuff is what I want to see more from WB. I want to see them let their filmmakers make these big tentpole movies, even if they're based off of existing properties like Dune, like people like Denis Villeneuve. Like that sort of shit is what you need. But yeah, if they sell off some of that DC stuff, I don't know about that. I know they're all about trying to get their debt decreased, but it reminds me of what Marvel did back in the day. It reminds me of what happened in the 90s where Marvel was going bankrupt and they sold off their character rights for, looking back on it, they were like, it's literally, I shit you not, you guys, they sold off some of the character rights for shit that we could all kickstart. I think they sold off the character rights of Spider-Man to Sony for what, $7 million or something crazy like that. Are you telling me we all as a community couldn't come together and kickstart $7 million for the rights to Superman or the rights of Spider-Man or some shit like that back in the day? Oh my God, bro. And I don't think they need to do that. Because, like, let's say, for example, they sell off all of DC. Let's do a ballpark. Let's say they sell off all of DC for, I don't know, $8 billion. Let's just say that. $8 billion. Let's round it to 10. Let's be generous. $10 billion. They could get back in a couple of years if they have banger releases. Because look at it like this. When Disney was cooking, like the early years of the MCU, like after they acquired them from Paramount, it was an upward trajectory for every single one of their movies. They all did better than the last. And it got to a point where, like, in 1 year, like I remember 2017 was the first year they did 3 movies. You had Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and then you had Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, Homecoming, they share the profits with Sony. Sony got the majority of the profits there. But you had Homecoming, Ragnarok, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 both cleared, I believe, $800+ million. Then a few months after that, you had Black Panther do 1.3. A few months after that, you have Avengers Infinity War. A few months after that, you have Ant-Man and the Wasp that did like close to 700 million. And then next year, 2019, a Captain Marvel movie does like over $1 billion. For some reason, I don't know. I still don't understand it. I know people were saying Avengers hype, but I'm like, really? Really? I just think at that point, people were just like so gung-ho on the Marvel brand. It's like, yeah, we'll see anything. Fuck it. And then you had Avengers Endgame do close to $3 billion. And then Spider-Man Far From Home. Again, profit share with Sony, but that movie made over $1 billion. So look at it like that. DC, if they put the effort into all these movies, they could have that. They could have that, man. And it just comes from just like laying the groundwork of the foundation, like James Gunn and all this. Okay, you know what? Let's segue this. Let's segue this into the Superman casting. Oh, my girlfriend's in the chat, guys. Everyone say hi to my girlfriend. She's here. Hi, girlfriend. How you doing? What's up, baby girl? Let's segue this into the first topic inadvertently, because it just might as well be like that. You see what you do, Julian Phoenix? You inadvertently got me to talk about this DC stuff, and he's just like, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Okay, so Superman Legacy. James Gunn has been busy. As you guys know, we found out that James Gunn was writing Superman Legacy last year. A couple months later, we found out he was directing Superman Legacy, and we got a date for it. 2 years from today, July 2025, Superman Legacy will hit theaters. But of course, the next question you ask is, what's going on? Oh shit, Jorge's in the chat. What's up, Jorge? How you doing, bro? We question, like, all right, so, you know, we got the Superman movie is coming out in 2 years. That means they're going to start shooting it next year. But who's going to be our new Superman? This is going to be a full-on reboot. Henry Cavill is not going to be in the role anymore. Who are we going to get? And for the past couple months, there have been a couple of rumors percolating that, okay, it's going to be this guy, it's going to be that guy. And me, myself, and I don't really put too much stock in casting rumors and all that stuff until it's concrete, because anything can change. But I was looking at some of the, fan choices that people were making. I was looking at some of the, like the things that were percolating. I'm like, all right, this guy could make a good Superman. He looks like a Superman type. And, provided everything about that is good, then, hey, man, we straight. We got the announcement. David Cornsweet will be playing Clark Kent, and Rachel Brosnahan is going to be playing Lois Lane. Those are our first 2 casting updates. And I'm not going front. I've seen very, very, very little of what this David guy has put out. I'm just being honest. Like, he is about as unknown to me as Henry Cavill was when he was cast. I mean, I'm sure Henry Cavill was in a lot more things by comparison, but this David dude, I literally know nothing. I've seen bits and clips and snippets and shit from what people have been posting. And, he seems like a solid actor. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. Seems like a solid actor. He looks the part. The only thing he really has to do is bulk up for the role. Now, Rachel Brosnahan, on the other hand, I've seen a decent amount of Marvelous Miss Maisel, enough to get a gauge for her acting. And she is fantastic, bro. She is great. She's going to crush it as Lois Lane. I think out of all the actors that they were screen testing, she was definitely the best, as far as like the acting chops are concerned. She was like top of the list. And of course, like the leakers come out and they say, like, yeah, she was the best to pick. And I was like, wow, I'm not surprised. But yeah, we got a Superman update, we got a Lois Lane, and then from there it comes down to filling out the rest of the cast, filling out the rest of Smallville, Metropolis. What are they going to do for some of the other DC characters? Who are the villains going to be? Who are some of the other characters from the DC universe that are going to be in here? We just don't know. But what we did learn from James Gunn was that this Superman movie, it's not going to be an origin story, but it is going to take place during his early years. It's going to be about Superman being in a world where supers already exist, which I think is a really interesting dynamic to have, as opposed to him being like the first of his kind. The fact that there are going to be other characters he's interacting with who have been at it for a while, I'm kind of down with that. In the sense that I wasn't down with how they did it in the Zack Snyder movies, where it was like, okay, so you lead me to believe that Wonder Woman and all these other characters have just been around this whole time, and they didn't do anything during the Battle of Metropolis. Aquaman didn't do anything when the World Engine was in there. Wonder Woman, I mean, they retroactively added the fact that Flash was there saving people, and I'm like, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't mean much. But, Superman realizing he's not alone in this universe, I think could be a really interesting dynamic. There's talk of the Authority being involved in the movie, and all that stuff. But again, everything is just like speculatory until we actually get casting updates. And out of the blue today, we got more casting updates. We got 3 casting updates. We got casting updates for Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, and Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Like, out of the fucking blue, who was just thinking to themselves, like, hey, we just chilling, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. You guys want some Superman casting updates? Fuck it, go ahead, why not? And honestly, like, I'm excited, man. This cast is looking really solid. It's just one of those things where I don't want to get too excited, but I trust James Gunn so much with what he's done. Like, every single one of these movies that he's put out, I've loved. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is one of my favorites. But it's just one of those things where it's like, there's just too much bad history with DC and how they handled stuff that the last thing I want is like, okay, James Gunn is handling the project, and then somebody above him, by some strange coincidence, is like, no, we're not going to do that. Fuck this. We're going to do it my way. I know that's not going to happen because he reports directly to Zaslav, as opposed to before with DC, where it was just like regular production and they had to report to like so many different people. But I'm not gonna lie, it does give me some hope and faith what they got cooking, man. And I want this Superman movie to be good, because if this Superman movie is good, then that is a great start for this universe and to get people excited for the future. Because if you can get Superman right, the foundation is already set for you to introduce everything else. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens after the fact. But it's looking really good so far with Superman Legacy. What about you guys? You guys have a gut check about it, or you just don't really care to the movies out in theaters, which is fair. That's how it should be, because every now and then something looks exciting or it sounds exciting, and then you see it and it's just like, wow, that was That was definitely a movie that they spent money on. Like James Gunn, for example. I love James Gunn. But that man was coming out here saying like, yo, Flash is one of the greatest movies of all time. I cried. My dog cried. And I know he's the head of DC and he's got to pimp the shit. But, man, when you coming out there and you could have just said like, yo, The Flash is in theaters now. Everybody get excited or some shit like that. But man was coming out there like with this whole chest saying like, this extraordinary film, it changed my life. Like, yo. Oh, man. The Flash was certainly a movie. It was certainly a movie that they filmed with cameras and they put it out in theaters. That's about the nicest thing I can say. That's about the nicest thing I can say about it. Yeah, dude, honestly, John, that's exactly what it was. Like, the way he was hyping this shit up, I was like, yo, this might actually be really fucking good. And it's like, no. Filling in with the Guy Gardner haircut is going to be a sight to see. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember when the news first broke a few hours ago, all we knew was that, oh, he was going to be playing Green Lantern. And then people did a little bit more digging and they found out, oh, it's Guy Gardner. I was like, oh, yes, that is perfect. Because, you know, a lot of people were thinking that, yo, he's going to play Hal because we've all fan casted Nathan Fillion. We fan cast Nathan Fillion in a lot of shit for the past 15 years. But he's at that point now where he's just a little too old to be doing some of those roles. Like, I would have loved him to play Nathan Drake if they got that Uncharted movie off the ground in 2010 when it was supposed to come out. But, you know, now he's just a little too old for that stuff. But someone like Guy Gardner being there, existing in the universe, yeah, I'm down with that. It's going to be interesting to see what... you know what I'm really excited for? I want to see how well that Green Lantern show does. Because when they say it's like a crime procedural a la True Detective, those are some big ass, like, those are some ballsy words to use to describe a show. And I hope it is actually like that. Because that is different. That is unique. I thought it was Batman from all the trailers from the Flash. HR Bomber, what's up, man? Yeah, bro. It's like the way they was pimping the stuff out, they barely had Ezra in the trailers. But I think for obvious reasons, they didn't want to have to put Ezra in trailers like that, considering all the controversy that was happening around him, which I don't blame them, but still, it's like Ezra Miller is in 98% of the scenes in the Flash movie, as he should. It's a movie called The Flash. There's a reason why they didn't reshoot it or cancel it, because it's like, if we were to reshoot this movie, then we'd have to reshoot the entire movie, because he's in every scene. So I feel like it was one of the things where they were just like, fuck it, let's put it out. And then they saw the hype from the first trailers and they're like, yeah, this might be our No Way Home. This might be like over $1 billion. Ooh, they was wrong, bro. That thing ain't even cracked 300 million worldwide. That is insane. That is crazy. Let's see. Neo, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? No, I haven't, but I really want to. I really do. What JRPG has the best story? Trying to get into one for the first time. The best story? I mean, there's a lot. It all depends. Like, to me, I consider Chrono Trigger has like one of the best stories. I love Final Fantasy IX's story. I love its characters. People would say like probably like the best story in terms of like multiple games is Legend of Heroes. That's one. Like, I mean, yeah, I want to recommend Persona 5 Flame. I truly do. But to the same degree, it's like the story in the game isn't... The story is great. Don't get it twisted. I love the game, but I'm talking like greatest stories in a JRPG. I feel like some have been done better. You know what I'm saying? Five minutes in, I knew it was about to be some doo-doo. Yeah, the first 10 minutes of The Flash, it dictates where this movie is going. I was so confused. I remember me and Jason were in the theater watching it. We were just like, what is going on? Are they serious? They take some swings in that movie, bro. Neo, what floats your boat? Depends. What does float my boat? You know? What floats y'all's boat? Hey, what's up, Paragon? We have not gone ahead and discussed the FTC stuff yet. We're working our way to that. All right, so the next thing, this goes back to Julian Phoenix's super chat. There have been some leaks regarding Deadpool 3, Deadpool X Wolverine, whatever it's going to be titled. If you guys are one of the people that does not watch trailers or don't look into leaks or just are not on social media, I would tap out from this right now. because we got some juicy photos, man. So a few days ago, we got our first look at Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool suit, which really wasn't that exciting, but it is kind of cool knowing that, hey, they're actually filming this movie. The suit itself looks awesome. It's definitely more vibrant. It's more colorful as opposed to Deadpool 1 and 2 suits, which were more muted by comparison to the rest of the world. I mean, the suits in those movies still looked great. But I wish that there was like a tad bit more red that popped. Like, you know, that red type of right there, that Joker Nendoroid right there, that type of red. And that's what they're doing with this new Deadpool suit, which is awesome to see. But not only that, we got our first look at Wolverine's costume. Like, that was the thing. Like, they always said, like, yeah, you know, Wolverine's gonna be in this movie. Is he gonna wear the accurate costume? We'll see. Is it gonna be a variation? We'll see. But bro, they went straight for it, bro. They literally said, oh, y'all want Wolverine in the yellow and blue? Oh yeah, we gonna give you that. Like, bro, the suit is fucking amazing, bro. And it's just so surreal. In the span of like 15 years, we went from X-Men Origins Wolverine to this. And the suits look incredible. Now, there are two things that I'm still kind of on the fence about. So first things first, and this is something, it's not an issue, but I understand why they did it. I don't like how the suit has sleeves. Just looking at all of Wolverine's iconic costumes throughout his history, that man's got some nice muscles, bro. He's got some nice bulging muscles. He looks great. Unleash the beast. However, the reasoning as to why the suit has sleeves on it is due to the fact that Hugh Jackman has been battling skin cancer. And when you're filming 12 hours a day outside in the hot ass sun in Atlanta and all these other places, you don't want to put yourself in a situation that could exacerbate that or bring something like that back. So the fact that it has sleeves, I understand that. Maybe for other scenes in the movie, like if he's indoors or whatever, they might chuck the sleeves if it's like on a soundstage or whatever. That's cool. And the other thing is, and I know they're being very strategic with it, we haven't seen the mask yet. Oh my fucking God, bro. I need to see how, because the mask is going to dictate whether or not this look works. Because it looks great as is without the mask, but the mask itself is like the final piece of the puzzle. It's the final piece. And I don't know if they're waiting for like a trailer or they're going to reveal it, you know, when we watch the movie or something like that. I'm not sure. But either way, man, Deadpool 3, in terms of like the costumes and the visual designs, it looks solid, man. The content of the movie itself, you know, I don't want to get too deep into the leaks, but it's looking like this is going to be another multiverse type of story. I mean, obviously, if you're going to bring a Wolverine back, because, you know, Wolverine died at the end of Logan, so this is going to be from a different point in the life. You're going to bring Wolverine back. The TVA is going to be involved somewhat, which I think makes sense, and that's a logical way to bring Deadpool from his universe into the MCU. And then there's a lot of talk about them bringing back characters from the Fox X-Men era. We're talking like Magneto, we're talking Professor Xavier, we're talking X-Men, and then we're talking like some really deep cuts like Jennifer Garner Elektra, Ben Affleck Daredevil. They're gonna do some crazy shit in this movie. And one thing I hope is that this movie is more, I hope this movie is a riff on all the crazy multiverse shit that we've been beaten over the head in the past couple of years. You know, sometimes it works out really well, other times it doesn't. But if this is just a nice tongue-in-cheek way of handling the multiverse, having fun with it, I'm down for it, bro. Like, the Deadpool movies don't take themselves seriously. And if this is going to be that type of movie and they just poke fun at the X-Men timeline for 2 hours straight, I'm okay with that. I think that'll be cool. Like, literally on the set, they have a demolished 20th century Fox fixture. This giant fixture like that. I need to see the setup for that joke. Because that looks incredible. If they could just sit there and they can mock all the dumb stuff from the Fox X-Men era with the continuity, if they can mock like just like multiverse stuff in general, how it's gotten out of hand, I'm game with that, bro. Okay, we have a $4.99 super chat coming in from the homie Kory Gryffindor. Can we just talk about how the Dominants and Acons in Final Fantasy 16 are basically Jinchurikis and Tailbeasts from Naruto? I mean, I'm not gonna argue it. I'm not gonna argue it at all, man. Like, you can definitely tell where some of the inspirations were taken with Final Fantasy 16. Obviously, a lot of it from Game of Thrones, but just in general, like the most iconic shit that we've seen throughout like entertainment history. I see that a lot in FF16, and it's good. FF16, unfortunately, I haven't really been playing too much of it in the past couple of weeks. I've just been really busy, but I'm gonna dive into it later tonight. Like, I've only clocked in like 10 hours into that game, man. I've been slacking. I haven't been doing too much gaming. Like, it was that I was playing for a bit, and then I got sent a Ghost Trick Phantom Detective by Capcom, so I was playing that as well. That was taking up some time. But then there was a period where I was just not doing any gaming, man. But, you know, it happens. Life happens, guys. Yeah, it's definitely amateur hour, Flames. Definitely amateur hours, bro. But I'm ready to fucking dive into the rest of that. Okay, so we tackled Superman Legacy. We talked about Wolverine and Deadpool. Do y'all think it's time for us to discuss this FTC shit? You know what? Let's discuss this FTC shit, y'all. FTC shit. Cause I'm tired of talking about it. Hey, what's up, Marcus Doyle Terrell? No, we did not talk about Mission Impossible yet. I'm gonna give my quick thoughts about it afterwards, but we're gonna discuss this Microsoft FTC battle in court that's been going on. Number one, I am happy as somebody who's been following this for the past year and a half. I am happy that this thing, we're getting close to the point where this can be over and done with. Because I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired of seeing it on the feed every single day. It's like either this thing is going to close or it's not. Like, those are the only things I care about. Like, when someone's saying, yeah, like, this is a great move that can help strengthen the deal or worsen the deal, I just don't care. Close it or not. Let's just stop talking about it. Let's go back to talking about something else. But we had this FTC case going on because the FTC said that, oh, no, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they stated their case. Microsoft stated their case. And the judge ruled in favor with Microsoft, which honestly, I mean, I kind of saw that coming based off of just the arguments for the FTC were extremely weak. It felt as if they didn't really prepare it. Like, if I'm being real, like, I was looking at this and like, there is so much that you could have thrown against Microsoft, not Xbox, Microsoft, that could have gotten this deal thrown out. But they handled it so fucking bad, bro. And honestly, Xbox, they had, like, obviously they, not only was the FTC's handling terrible, but Xbox just had a better way of going about it. And it is what it is, man. So, like, people who are surprised and shocked about this, I don't think so. Like, if you followed the case, even if you're just keeping up with it on Twitter like I did, and you look at the outlandish stuff like the people on the FTC side were saying, I'm like, you fucking dumbass, bro. Like, oh my God, like, dude, all you really needed was somebody with common sense who follows this gaming shit. You just needed that in your corner who can tell you this stuff. And you didn't. You didn't have that. And then boom, now look at you. All musty and shit, FTC. Ridiculous. But, you know, that's good news for Microsoft. And according to something else, they're working with the CMA to kind of hash out something else, which, you know, I expect that to happen as well. And the sooner that happens, the sooner this deal can be fully closed and we don't have to talk about it ever again. We don't have to worry about wondering if this shit is going to be oh no, that's going to still be podcast wondering, oh, well, how long are these games going to be exclusive and what's going to be multiplayer, blah, 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 and all that shit. Oh, that's going to be fun. But the fact that we don't have to worry about whether or not the deal is going to close, it's just like, yes, either they're going to own them or they're not going to own them. Like that's all I really care about. But yeah, $2 super chat coming in from Flame. Gotta say, Neo, check out the World List demo. There's a lot of demos I gotta check out. I gotta check out that, Sea of Stars, all that stuff. There's so much shit. But shout out to people who've been joining in between. Shout out. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm just happy that that's over and done with. I'm happy. I'm so fucking ecstatic, bro. I don't even care if this stuff is coming on Game Pass or not. The less we gotta say about acquisition season, the better. But you guys know what this means, because this is not just any old little acquisition. This is huge. There is never going to be an acquisition that is going to be on this scale in our lifetime. And if we do see that, at least in like the gaming space, if we do see that, I am going to be shocked, because we went from 8 billion to 70 billion. the next logical move, or what people are asking, I should say, is how is PlayStation going to retaliate? Because the second that all of this closes, people are going to question, well, if only Call of Duty remains multi-plat or whatever, what is PlayStation realistically going to do about everything else? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry right now that people are concerned about when it comes to industry consolidation, when it comes to all this stuff. And me, myself, and I'm going to be real. Is industry consolidation a problem? Sure. Of course. Anything can be a problem in life. Do I necessarily care about it? No, because number one, if I'm still getting great games, I'm okay with that. If we are still seeing that there is thriving competition going on, I'm okay with that. And if the people working on the games are very happy, I'm okay with that. That's all that I really care about. That's it. Right? Does it suck that it could become a situation where, okay, if Microsoft owns 90% of everything, they could dictate stuff? Yeah, sure. But is that day happening now? No. And is it going to stop me from doing other stuff? No. Like, because if I woke up tomorrow and I found out that PlayStation acquired Square Enix, I'm not going to move any different in my day-to-day. Just like this whole Activision Blizzard King shit, I'm not going to move any different in my day-to-day. Could I be excited that maybe now is an opportunity for more of their development teams to work on different stuff without having to worry about, okay, well, we need to focus everything on Call of Duty? Sure. You know, but I'm not losing sleep if that doesn't happen or whatever, because even in companies like Square Enix, which I love, provided you're not acquired by somebody really shady, I don't really care about it. You know, I really don't. If they were acquired by like someone like Tencent or Embracer, I'd be kind of scratching my eyes. Yes, just like, just take it out my eye sockets. I'd be scratching my head. But if it's something like Microsoft or PlayStation, I'm not, it's whatever to me. Like if I woke up tomorrow and I found out that Nintendo bought Square Enix, I'd be like, okay, cool. $5 coming in from the homie Blue Senshi. Steam sale got me to buy The Witcher 3. I don't know when I'll get to it because I'm on my second playthrough of Dragon Quest 11. Forgot why I dropped it the first time. Oh, dude, Witcher 3 is fucking amazing. Especially if you got all the DLC, dude. Whoo, some of the best DLC you can get, man. You know what the funny thing is? That's kind of my problem when it comes to some JRPGs. Like, if I'm not fully invested in it when it comes out, it'll take me a really long time to dive back in. Because you know how it is. It's like you boot up the game and you kind of forget what you were doing. And it's like, you know, you just don't feel the same. That's kind of why I had to restart Breath of the Wild. Because I remember I played it when I first got my Switch in 2017. Then I didn't play it until like 2019. And I was like, I'm gonna restart this shit. And I was like, okay, cool. Wow, this game is actually really fucking great. So yeah, dude, I totally understand that. But Dragon Quest 11 is awesome. It's a very, very, very traditional JRPG. But if you're into that sort of shit, you're gonna love it. But what's up to all the people who've been joining the chat recently? What's up, y'all? Make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. But let me go ahead and answer some of these questions. Hey, what's going on, Kareem? Nah, so I didn't trim my hair. I haven't actually trimmed my hair at all. I just what did I call it? I just got out of the shower and everything, and I haven't picked out my hair, so it's just chilling. I do got to go to the barber soon though. Get everything shaped up. Yeah, with RPGs, you got to commit to them when they come out, because if you don't and you get lost in the shuffle, oh, it is hard to go back to some of those games, man. Especially learning the combat systems again. What's up, Artsy Avanti? If I had to dedicate my time to either The Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption 2, which would you focus on first? All right, so considering that, you know, hindsight's 2020 and I've played both games to completion, honestly, between the two, it's going to take you less time to max out Red Dead Redemption 2 if we're talking purely the story and some of the side content. If you want to max out everything else on the map, that's on you. But for me, if I'm talking about my enjoyment with the story and the side content, I enjoyed the overall story and side content in The Witcher 3 a hell of a lot more than Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, it's not to say that Red Dead Redemption 2 is not fucking incredible, because the narrative in that game is incredible. It's so good. John Marston as a character, I love what they did with him later on in the prologue, because it bleeds everything back into Red Dead Redemption 1. And just to see him in a different light in this story was great. But Arthur fucking Morgan, one of the best video game characters of all time. Now, that being said, Red Dead Redemption 2, in my opinion, doesn't have as great of side content compared to The Witcher 3. And both game system, the combat system is kind of questionable, to say the least. Like Red Dead Redemption 2's aiming and all that stuff is, it needs a lot of work. You got to tweak it in the settings. Witcher 3's combat, I didn't find a problem with it, but I can understand some people who did, so I'm just like, whatevs. But like I said, if you can get over those things, the narratives in the game are incredible. And man, like I said, the missions in Witcher 3, the side quests that feel like their main missions, that cannot be stated more than it is, bro. It's so good. Neo, do you have any issues with Final Fantasy 16's lack of RPG elements? Do you review it as an action RPG or an action game? So, I mean, like I said, I'm only 10 hours in, but I'm looking at Final Fantasy 16 more as an action game than I am an RPG, just because that's what they've kind of been billing it as for the longest time. And it's just a different Final Fantasy game to me. Would I have liked them to have a little bit more deeper RPG elements a la the FF7 remake? Absolutely. But what I'm playing in terms of it being a great action game, it's a great action game and it's got a great story. And that's all I really care about, you know? I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's not a great Final Fantasy game then. And I'm like, okay. By that logic, anything with the Final Fantasy name that isn't a turn-based game is not a good game to these people. Oh, the Wonka prequel trailer? It looks okay. It looks cool. Our boy, Timmy. But everything else about FF16 is, like, great. The story is awesome. The characters are great. Like I said, the lacking RPG elements, that's kind of whatever. And some of the side quests are not as good. But I've just noticed that with a lot of Japanese RPGs that aren't. No, even some of my favorite games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the side missions aren't like 10 out of 10 level. I'm sorry. Witcher 3 just spoiled me, guys. I've been saying this since 2015. Final Fantasy hasn't been turn-based in 20 years. Well, I mean, it's been like turn-based in the sense, but it wasn't until like 2016 when FF15 became a full-on action game. But even then, that started off as like a different game entirely, that they just made a mainline title, because people think it was very weird that in 2016 they would release a game called Final Fantasy Versus 13. And they're like, wait, is this a sequel to 13 that came out in 2009? No, it's not. But it was this whole Fabella Nova Crystal, you know what I'm saying? But Final Fantasy 16, like, I just accept that the mainline games always do different shit. That's what I tell people. How's your girl doing? She's doing pretty good. She's actually in the stream right now chilling. I think she's at the gym too. So look at that. Multitasking. Love it. But yeah, no, we're doing great. Doing great, man. Going on like what, 7 months now. Shit is crazy. Time flies. Let's see. Hey Neo, how would you rank the Kingdom Hearts games? Ooh, okay, so I get this question every stream. Starting at the top, you know, is Kingdom Hearts 2. Gotta be. Kingdom Hearts 2 at the top. And like I said, the way I rank it, it's a lot of different things. So obviously I rank them as games, but also I rank them with how much they mean to me personally and some other things. So you might be surprised looking at the rankings being like, why is that game on here versus that? It's just me. It's my list. So Kingdom Hearts 2 at the top. After that, we got Kingdom Hearts 1. Then after that, we got Birth by Sleep. Then after that, what are we doing? Number 4. See, this is where it gets kind of dicey, because everything else from here can just kind of give or take. I know it's at the bottom. Coded is at the bottom. You know, anything that's a mobile phone game is at the bottom. Not because I don't care about mobile phone games, but it's because I don't care about mobile phone games. I'm sure they're great, but me, nah. And then you work your way up from there. You know, everything becomes interchangeable. After the top 3, it's just like, all right, whatever. You know, like, whatever. Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, the combat with the Remind stuff is good, but like the story I didn't care much for. Data battles, I'm sure they're amazing. And then come score Gryffindor with the comment. I know it. But yeah, you know, definitely 2 is at the top, 1, and then Birth by Sleep. But one thing I really hope Nomura does in the future is I hope all the Kingdom Hearts games now are going to be specifically mainline titles. I don't think we're ever going to be in a place again where he can get away with doing side games on 8 different handhelds, just because everything has become a lot more consolidated to the consoles or the Switch, you know? So he can tell his stories with the mobile games. Maybe he'll do like a whole action mobile game if he wants to, but everything else going forward should at least be on the consoles. They gotta be mainline, bro. They gotta be. We can't go back to that handheld. Yo, dude, man, I just will never forget it. Like, I'm sure there's someone out there who bought systems just to play one Kingdom Hearts game, and then that was it. Could you imagine that? Someone's like, yeah, I bought a PSP just to play Birth by Sleep. You play anything else? No. Really? Yeah. Dude. It's crazy. But the wild thing is it wasn't until 2017 where you could play every single Kingdom Hearts game, for the most part, on one platform. When they did that all-in-one collection or whatever, and they brought everything forward, man, it's insane. Nah, but Kingdom Hearts 2 will always be at the top. I mean, I remember at one point, Kingdom Hearts 1 was at the top for me. That was just because of, like, how much nostalgia I had for it. But Kingdom Hearts 2, objectively as a game, is so much better. But I still got love for the first Kingdom Hearts game with all its janky platforming and shit. I love it. Hey, we got a $2 super chat coming in from the homie Robert Storms. Hey, brother, glad you're doing well. Oh, good to see you. That's the homie Robert Storms, man. Formerly known as Storms Entertainment. Formerly known as Storms Inc. That's my guy right there. How you doing, bro? I just got done watching your Xbox Hyperkin 360 controller unboxing, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I don't need to buy this. I don't need to buy it. And then what stopped me was that it was a wired controller. And I'm like, no, I don't need a wired controller in my setup right now. I'm just full on wireless. But it looked pretty fucking solid, bro. That controller looked great. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, so Hyperkin, they came out and they do a lot of like retro Xbox 360 Xbox controllers. So they did like the Duke controller. And they just put out the 360 controller not too long ago. So if you were just fiending for that 360 nostalgia, or you're like Rob and you bought it to play like the backwards compatible games, they got it available, bro. Janky platforms and 4 original characters. Yes, sir. 4 original characters. No, I have not seen Good Girls. There's a lot of stuff that I really need to watch, like a lot of shows. Now that Barry is over and Succession is over, but I still have to catch up on Barry and Succession. It's just, I'm that type of person where I don't want to binge everything and then have that be the end. That's it. That's all. I don't want to do that with Barry and Succession, so I'm taking my sweet ass time with them. But they're so good, man. Let's see. Neo, I have a lot of problems with overthinking stuff. Any advice you can give me to help? Yeah, I mean, as someone who I've always contemplated, you know, growing up in my life, I've contemplated, like, do I overthink stuff? Do I not think enough about stuff? Like, it happens. Honestly, the best thing I can tell you when it comes to overthinking, man, is first things first, you gotta take a breath, bro. You have gotta take a breath, because when your mind and your heart and your body is racing at like 150 miles per hour, you might make a decision or a call. Oh, and shout out for the super chats recently, you guys. I will get to those momentarily. Thank you. When you are just racing so much through life, whether, you know, you're just back to back from school to work, family life, what have you, and you don't give yourself an opportunity to really process stuff, that's where you can run into situations where, number one, you are not healing from any past trauma you had, but number two, you might be making decisions for the wrong reason. So when it comes to overthinking, what I always say is, like, first things first, give yourself a breath. Like, take that moment to just breathe, right? And then from there, you plan your attack on how to deal with that situation, right? And what really helps about overthinking, like whatever it is, it could be something small or minor, it could be something major, is it really helps if you have the opportunity to, if it's about somebody else, maybe talk to that person about it. And if you have an individual who you have a good enough relationship with, then, you know, you can come to like some type of a mutual understanding. Like, let's say you were overthinking if, you know, maybe you should have, I don't know, you should have said something more to a person when you visit them at their birthday party, but you didn't want to do that because they were hanging out with everybody and you just didn't want to take up too much of your time. You know, shit like that happens, right? But the important thing is to realize that, like, what you are overthinking could just be a misunderstanding, and it might not be something whatsoever. So it really helps to talk about that with somebody else, and just realize that, you know, this is just like a temporary feeling that you have. And the best thing that I can do as someone who has been an overthinker is I like to reassure people. I like to reassure folk that, like, hey, listen, you know, what you're feeling is valid, or hey, you might be thinking looking too deeply into this. Or I ask somebody, where's this stuff coming from? Right? Like, so if this is coming from a place where like you're overthinking something because you had something happen in your life, maybe that's what's fueling you to make these decisions, or you're acting a certain way. Also, another thing I always tell folk is therapy is very critical, very crucial. I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever, just being able to talk to a person, just to get to the root cause of all these things, and realize that this stuff is just shit that happens in the day-to-day life for everybody. We just handle it very differently, or we just express it very differently. But yeah, no, it's a lot to take in, man. Trust me, I get it. But, you know, just take shit day by day, man, and just breathe. You will never be the completed or genuine article, and you will not get there overnight. Just take your time to just try to be a little bit better at anything, like how you handle stuff. If you handle it a little bit better today than you did the day before, that's growth, and that's shit that actually matters. And if it's something that is not in your control whatsoever, then don't worry about it, right? Don't sit here and think to yourself, why am I like worrying so much about somebody who doesn't care about me, or, you know, a situation that it doesn't affect me whatsoever. Like, obviously there are asterisks that you can add to those situations. I don't just want to say like a blanket rule whatsoever. But you got to focus on your health and your well-being and all of that stuff too. You know, like, I don't know if like maybe you're a people pleaser, or if there's something that you feel like you should be doing more for a person, or blah, blah, blah. Like, relax and take care of yourself first. And that's not a bad thing at all. Like, you are not a bad person because you prioritize yourself and your well-being, and finding healthy ways to cope with things, finding healthy ways to think things, or look at the world differently, you know? Just take your time, man. Just take your time. And just realize that, hey, man, it'd be like that sometimes. So we have a super chat coming in from the homie PierretheGamer, who's been a member for the past 26 months of the Spirit Detective tier. I appreciate you, my brother. What are your thoughts on video game remakes? Do you think they are getting burnt out? Also, what is your favorite video game remake so far? Honestly, I don't really have a problem with video game remakes. I know it's kind of cool to hate on the idea of them when it's handled very poorly. But I think for the most part, if it's a quality remake, remaster, reimagining, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, it's fine. I do think we're kind of getting out of hand when it comes to remaking games that existed on like the PS4 era. Like, unless that game is stuck on a system with shitty performance, like Bloodborne, for example. You can't play Bloodborne at a native 60 frames per second, 1080p, none of that stuff, right? So it makes sense for them to at least do some form of a remaster or remake on that, similar to Demon's Souls. But when we get into the discussion of remaking stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that to this day is still one of the most beautiful games, and we're talking about, yeah, we gotta remake that for the PS5. I'm like, I think you lost the plot. I think you lost the fucking plot. Even remaking something like The Last of Us Part 1, I felt was a stretch. Now, sure, as time passes, 10 years from now, of course, you'd want to play the Part 1 remake versus the original game. Sure. But in the moment, I'm just like, I feel like there are better remakes for games that we could be putting out. Way more. Especially in Sony's catalog, man. So I don't necessarily think people are going to get burnt out on them. Because, I mean, we had that in the PS4, Xbox One era. There was a shit ton of remasters that came out, and people were tired then. But as time progressed, we realized that that's helping game preservation. You're bringing those games forward. You're cleaning them up. You're letting a new audience experience them from the first time. So it's never a bad thing. I just hope that like the project itself is quality. But as far as my favorite game remakes, oh man, there's a couple. I mean, let's see. So off the top of my head, I mean, I really do love what Capcom did with the Resident Evil 2 remake. Like, that is just fucking incredible. So I'm biased in saying that. I mean, the Resident Evil 4 remake is really good too, but that RE2 remake just fucking knocked it out of the park, bro. So I would definitely say, like, RE2's remake was really good. And $2 coming in for Robert Storms. That controller is so good, though. Yeah, man, I was looking at it, and it looks fucking solid, but I'm like, I don't need any more controllers. I already have too many controllers. Hey, I'm down to see that, Bella. Oh, Lars, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Why don't we remake old bad games and make them good? Dude, Lars, that is something that my boy Danny had been saying for a long time. Instead of remaking good movies, why don't we remake like B-list or C-list type of movies from like the 80s or the 70s or some shit like that had cool concepts, but the execution was not that great? I'd be more excited if we started seeing more of those than a remake of a good movie. Like, bro, why are you remaking Footloose? Why are you remaking Dirty Dancing? Why are you remaking these things? Like, just leave them alone. And I know some of those movies that came out in like the 80s, they could be remakes of stuff that we had in the 50s or the 60s. Sure, I'm not opposed to that, but at least they improved upon it. And if the original movie was not that great, you already have a good starting point. Well, we can just make it better. But yeah, we can do that, man. We can do that. Just remake the stuff that wasn't that great that had potential. I'm more excited about that. Oh, especially games with clunky controls. Yeah, that's why I like playing the Resident Evil 2 remake, because it controls way better compared to like the original Resident Evil 2 and those type of games, man. I'm all for that. If you're going to remake a game to give it better controls, absolutely. Dude, if they remade Alpha Protocol and they like spruced it up and they made it the game that they were originally envisioning, that thing would be fucking sick. That thing would be incredible. But we do not need a Back to the Future remake. We don't. We just don't. I'm sorry. What's it gonna be? Back to the Future 1990s? Like, bro, there's not enough nostalgia for the 90s yet to even do that. And even so, it's just Back to the Future so intrinsically tied to the 80s that you can't. Yeah, Fighting Force remake would be great. Dino Crisis remake would be awesome. Parasite Eve, like all that shit, bro. Not no Horizon Zero Dawn. And we know the reason why they're doing it, because they're doing a Horizon show, and it's much easier for them to get a Horizon remake out the gate than it is Horizon 3, because that's going to take another like 4 or 5 years. We don't need no... It's just like what a time to be alive. Horizon Zero Dawn remake. But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Final Fantasy X remake, because there are rumors percolating for that one too. Percolating. I mean, I wouldn't mind that for like the 25th anniversary or some shit like that. We get a Final Fantasy X remake. 25 years? Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. Not no 5-6 years later. $2 super chat from Kid Cool 1827. What would you like to see in a BioShock remake? Honestly, I'd just spruce up the controls. That's all you really need to do for BioShock, because I feel like BioShock is already a great game as is. I like the way they tell the story. I like how it's done through the... And I'm one person, I can't stand audio logs. I can't stand audio logs that tell the story of the game and they have all the important plot beats in the game. Audio logs and things like that should always be supplemental material to the main story, where it's like, if you really love the story, listen to this and you'll get more of it. BioShock handled that very well. I don't think you need to really change too much about it. I just think that the controls need to be improved upon, and that's basically it. So it'd be a very, very simple type of remake, if you will. I'd rather just a new BioShock game that does something different away from Rapture or Columbia, or, you know, start with a new society or some shit like that, and see what kind of story we can tell there. Yeah, full-on Ocarina of Time remake would be amazing, but knowing Nintendo, hey, here's the 3DS version, which honestly, I'll take the 3DS version if you want to port that to the Switch, but knowing Nintendo, no, here's a ROM of the N64 version that you got to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online for. It's like, Nintendo, I want to give you all of my money, but you just don't. You just do the bare minimum, and it's like, it works, it sells, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them. A Condemned? Yeah, a Condemned revival of some sort would be awesome, Jake. Condemned was underrated. It had its issues, sure. Condemned, Fear, what's that other game? Oh, it was just on the tip of my tongue. Condemned, Fear, there was something else. It was a 360 game. Alone in the Dark. Well, that one's getting a remake. So I'm like, yeah, we need that. Yeah. How's the Steam Deck been treating you? Oh, it's been great, Pooh Bear. It has been awesome. Basically, what I do is I just bring my Steam Deck to my girl's place and I just leave it there. Because, you know, it's like I play it here, but I don't really be playing it as much here because, you know, I have my consoles and shit. So I'm like, let me bring my Steam Deck over to a place where I know I'll play it. So if I'm ever chilling at my girl's place and we're just hanging out, you know, she might be watching TV or she might be playing Zelda and I'm just on my Steam Deck, bro. So I get a lot of decent use out of it. The Darkness. I wouldn't mind a new Darkness game. Yeah, there's talk about another... I think Capcom might do another Onimusha at some point. Yeah, but there's a lot of good stuff they could do. Somehow we actually got a Super Mario RPG remake. Somehow. That is surprising to me. But I'm not complaining about it. Ooh, I can't wait for that. Yo, the Switch is getting a lot of my money this year, you guys. The Switch, bro, already Zelda. I bought Octopath Traveler 2. I'm gonna buy Pikmin 4, Pikmin 3, Pikmin 1+2 physical. Ugh. Jesus, bro. Jesus. And then now the Super Mario RPG remake. Ugh. And then last year I bought Xenoblade. I bought Bayonetta 3. I bought Splatoon. Ugh. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Nintendo is getting all my fucking coins, bro. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it, bro. How much did your gaming PC cost and did you build it yourself? No, I didn't. It was a pre-built model I got from Micro Center. And I think it was like $1,500 all said and done. It was like a nice above mid-range PC for the time. I got it in like early 2020, right when COVID hit. Yeah, dude. Like, there's just so many games and shit that, like, oh, like that's literally my response to everything. Like, I bought Diablo 4 because I got it for $40, like 2 weeks after it came out. Oh, you know, but I don't mind it because these are all fucking great games too. Like Diablo 4, and the only games I think I really spent full price on this year were Hogwarts Legacy, Zelda. Well, not really Zelda because I had trading credit for that, so I don't really count that. Zelda, Final Fantasy 16. No, same thing. I had trading credit for that. No, everybody 1-2 switch. Not for me. Not for me. Maybe for Retro Lad there. What are your thoughts on Mario Wonder? It looks great, but I hope it has some challenge to it because the new Super Mario Brothers games, they were very, very piss easy. Have you watched the new Indiana Jones movie yet? I haven't. I wanted to go see it, but it just, none of the trailers really sold me. And at the same time, just everything I've heard from people is just like, ugh. So I'd rather use that 2 hours to play a game or something. Haven't bought a game at full price since Battlefront 2 at launch. Man, it's still too hurt. Dude, oh my God. Could you imagine buying those games at full price? Or maybe those being like the first games you bought with like your paycheck or some shit. And then it's just fucking terrible. We all have those kind of games. We all have those kind of games. But no, I don't think I'm going to see Indiana Jones until it comes out on Disney+. You know what it is, though? You know what it is about this year in movies? There's a lot of movies that are coming out, blockbusters that are very disappointing, and I think that the audiences is responding. Like, all the underwhelming blockbusters this year have been underperforming. All of them. Even some of the stuff that I liked, like Transformers Rise of the Beast. It's struggling. What about that Barbie movie? You going to see that? Yeah, I'm going to see that Barbie movie, bro. I'm going to see Barbie. I'm going to see Oppenheimer the same week. What else? I just saw Mission Impossible yesterday. Oh, that's cinema right there. So Battlefront 2 as a game itself is sound. It was just lacking so much content and the microtransactions. But it eventually ended up being a really good game after the fact. It took them a while, but it ended up being good. I do want to see Joyride, Chris. I definitely do. I've seen a lot of movies this year. Barbie and Oppenheimer are back-to-back for me. Oh, you're seeing them both on the same day? We're splitting it up. So I'm going to see Oppenheimer on one day. And then me, my sister, and my girlfriend, we going to do a Barbie brunch session, man. Yo, we going to go in, bro. We going to be dressing in pink. We going to be sipping some fucking Cosmopolitans. We going to be dressed. We going to see this Barbie shit, bro. It's going to be an experience. My girlfriend's going to pick out my fit. That's going to be funny, but it's going to be exciting. Yo, you guys, the photos y'all are going to see. Good Lord. Good Lord. Have you seen Nimona on Netflix? No, I haven't. I've heard good things about it, though. So, again, I'll add it to the list. There's just so much shit, guys. There's so much content between movies and streaming and games. It's like, fuck, bro. Send pics. Oh, yeah, I definitely will, Jason. I'm about to be dressed. You know what? If it's going to be all pink, I'm about to look so fucking preppy, bro. Probably going to be like a pink polo, some white shorts, maybe a sweater around my neck or some shit. Like, oh, God, I'm going to look like Ryan Gosling. I can only wish and aspire to be as good looking as Ryan Gosling. Don't worry, Flame. I gotta find a way to DM that to you. Well, I mean, no, you're gonna be off Twitter. I don't know, Flame. Text me your number. Text me your number on Twitter, and I'll text it to you when we go see Barbie. Neo can. Neo, do a JoJo pose with that pink attire. Hey, I might. I low-key might. NeoGameSpark. Yes, I'm gonna channel all the Kenergy. All the Kenergy for this. Pixar didn't happen. Oh, Pix will definitely be posted. I'm gonna get memed into oblivion. I'm gonna get cooked. But I don't care. We do it for the Barbie Oppenheimer season. Gonna look like someone who buys $30 grams. Shit, yeah, bro. Straight up. Do you even know who my father is? Channeling that big energy. Do you really think the Barbie movie is gonna be a good movie? I think so. Greta Gerwig, she has not missed yet. She does a lot of good movies, man. So I think it's gonna be good, and I think it's gonna be funny. That's all I'm looking forward to. But dude, just the same week as Oppenheimer, that's gonna be crazy, man. I can't believe it. Yo, did you hear about the new Black Panther game? Yeah. So EA just announced, well, they basically confirmed something we heard about last year. Because I remember when the leaks broke, it was like last summer. But they finally confirmed that they are indeed working on a Black Panther game, a full-on single-player narrative game. It's from this new studio that they started up in Seattle, and they've got a lot of veterans from, you know, some of the bigger games. Unfortunately, some who worked on Halo Infinite, but no, I'm not dyeing my hair, David. No. But yeah, they're working on this single player Black Panther game, which is crazy because they just announced that they're doing an Iron Man game as well with the guys who did the Dead Space remake. So dude, EA has 2 superhero properties and they're single player focused. What a time to be alive, man. What a fucking time. That's crazy. But I hope they're good, man. I mean, honestly, like, I'm one of those people where I'm not opposed to a superhero game being a live service project. I'm not. I feel like it can work, but you gotta put quality talent on it who want to make that game. Don't just force Crystal Dynamics to do that. You know, just let them cook what they want to cook, man. That's it. What are your thoughts on that Avatar: The Last Airbender game? It looks PS2 like. Yeah, it don't look good. I was surprised when they announced it. I'm like, oh, this is like a mobile game, right? And it's like, no, it's just on PS5 and Xbox. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all really trying that. Yeah, we talked about the ABK thing a little earlier, Alan. Yeah, there is a Wonder Woman game. Yo, they announced that shit like what, back in 2021? Damn, we still ain't see anything. Hopefully we see something this year. Hopefully. Oh, wait. No. We're talking about... Wait, Ubisoft is working on that new Avatar Last Airbender game? I know they're working on the James Cameron Avatar game. Who's working on that new Avatar game? The Last Airbender game. Yo, yeah, they did patent the Nemesis system. They're like, oh, this is ours. Zoro says, do you think Naruto is the most influential anime / manga of the 2000s? What's your take on that? I mean, okay, so if you're talking about the sales, obviously One Piece, it's One Piece. It's obviously gonna be One Piece. But if we're talking like culture and shit like that, yeah, Naruto, of the anime that came out at that time, it's definitely gonna be Naruto. Naruto, it's staying power, even with shit like Boruto, and it's not great. It still has some people hooked and invested in that. And just in general, when you hear people talking about anime and stuff, it's all of them bring up Naruto at least once. So I would say that. But obviously, if you're talking like metrics about like what everyone is actually into, even if they don't talk about it in your circles, it's gonna be One Piece. 69 viewers, nice. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure y'all hit that like button. Bam Tang Games and publisher Game Mill Entertainment have announced Avatar: Last Airbender Quest for Balance. Is that actually the full title of the game? And is that actually the developer and publisher? Because that sounds like that is the Spirit Halloween equivalent of game developers. Because that does not sound real. That does not sound real at all. Bam Tang Games and Game Mill Entertainment. No way. Are you serious? That sounds like a money laundering scheme. That sounds so what? That's insane. Holy shit. I'm about to go look that up later. Oh, that's crazy, bro. That sounds so fake. That's insane. I can't believe that. Oh, man. What made Naruto special to you and everybody else in the YouTube anime/manga community? I feel like, obviously, like, there's a lot of reasons, and you get down to personal, like, relationships people have with characters, but it just checked a lot of the boxes for a lot of people, you know? It was funny, it had a good story, it had good character designs, great soundtrack, like, it just checked all of those boxes, and it did it better than some of its other contemporaries in the shonen genre. Not like the big three, but I'm talking like all the other ones that wanted to be on that level. You know, right place, right timing, obviously. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Yeah, like obviously another thing, exactly, Lars, you wore orange like Goku. People are looking for the next big Dragon Ball Z, and there really hasn't been one that's like Dragon Ball Z. But then people realize, okay, well, if I can't find Dragon Ball Z, I'll find something different that's similar to it in that sense. And they found Naruto, just like some people find like One Piece or Bleach or some shit like that. But yeah, it was huge. It was huge. It was like the biggest thing after Dragon Ball. Naruto was the biggest thing, not counting Pokemon, obviously, but Naruto was like the biggest thing that anime fans had in terms of like the zeitgeist of the mid 2000s. Yeah, it was definitely Naruto. $2 super chat from Flame. Naruto is mid, same as Dragon Ball. Come at me. No. I'm gonna let the people of Florida handle you. There's a lot of Naruto fans down there. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons why people like that, you know? Bam Tang Games, ain't that the song played in Guardians 2? Dude, it sounds dangerously close. Wham, bam, dang. Oh, man. I just can't believe that, bro. That sounds so fake. Imagine that game comes out and it's actually fire, and we're like, oh, shit. But I'm looking at the clock, you guys, and it's about to be 10 o'clock on the dot over here on the East Coast. I know this is kind of a short stream by comparison to other Ask Neos, but, you know, we got a lot of gaming that we got to get into, you guys. But I did want to do this stream just to get back onto the Ask Neo flow and get back with the consistency. So I know it's a very short stream. I know, you guys, I'm so sorry, but don't worry, we will be back. We will be back next week for Ask Neo. We're going to continue the tradition and just keep shit pushing as we always do. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. Thank you all so much for the super chats, the YouTube memberships, all that stuff. But before we go, we got to have ourselves a hydration check, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know the deal by now. You know this. And if you don't know, get cultured, my friends. So grab your favorite H2O beverage of choice. Today we have got Schweppes sparkling seltzer water, lemon lime flavor. Because you know me, I like my lemon lime. On the count of 3, we're going to chug. 1, 2, 3. Hydration. That's some good TV static. I will say, black cherry and raspberry lime are definitely superior flavors if we're talking Schweppes. But I digress. Before we go, we do have... Oh, God, here come the alcoholics in the chat. No way. The homie JFam388, who's been a member for the past 19 months of the Spirit Detective tier, need to get this milestone chat out. Wish this man Neo a happy early birthday. That's right, you guys. By the time I come back for Ask Neo next week, I will be 1 year older. I'll be 30 years old. That's fucking crazy to consider. But we gonna have a little bit of a celebratory 30th birthday Ask Neo thing. You know, I'm gonna be like all the cool kids and have a birthday week instead of a birthday day. So we gonna go ahead and get that situated
next Tuesday night. Nice birthday stream. But yeah, you guys, from me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out. And like always, we catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.